ladies and gentlemen, to the UMG $500 minimum 44 variant for December 13th. We're hopping in here toward our quarterfinal matchup between the side of SZN, aka Season, versus the side of TBO, both with 3 characters in their name, and both actually meaning something. Season, of course, for one side, and TBO, I believe, previously being the Team Blackout rostered, which obviously competed at CWL Dallas. I'm not sure the overall implications as far as the decision to leave the organization, or whether that really was a certain cause for it. However, of course, JTimp, Neode, Charullz, and I believe Remedy players for that particular team. And on the opposite side, we've actually got iLLeY, Dashy. I want to say this is Mujaydin. I'm not 100% sure. This is the first time I've actually casted over this guy, so very interested to see what he can kind of do in this tournament. We're going to kind of go by Mujaydin for now, and we've got aka Mochila Steve. Just Mochila, really. But, of course, looking on here, I know we did join this game kind of into the action already, but had a few issues to try to make sure we were in the lobby, making sure everything was good as far as production is considered. But now we're obviously good to go here for map number 1 on London Docks. Map number 2 will be USS Texas Search and Destroy. And map number 3, if it does come down to it, will be CTF on Arden Forest. So something to kind of keep in mind when it comes down to this particular matchup is that these are best of 3s. I know I just said that, but for people who are watching at home, every map meaning more and more when it comes down to things. And kind of hopping in here toward our current rotation. We're looking in toward barrel building as trades coming in as 3 players for the side of TBO doing some work, but on the opposite end, it is Season who's doing some damage. And looking on here, Dashy ended up getting picked off through mid-map, and a rotation being made here toward Doc's Crane as Mujaydin gets dropped. As a very close game up to this point. Rush being made here through fire as the nade goes out. That one could connect, and yes, drops 1, but can't find the 4th. As it will be a clean 4 down. TBO starting to have a few issues when it comes down to this particular rotation, as it looks like it could be the side of Season who does gain the lead. And that's exactly what will take place, as you see quite a few FG42s raining onto that hardpoint. And SMGs, of course, do get filled out as time does go on. And iLLeY showing exactly why the SMG is definitely still worth rocking. As Dashy finds 2, iLLeY will find the other 2. As it will be a clean 4 down yet again. As right now, the side of TBO is just having a difficult time entering inside of this hill. And just like that, they've given iLLeY a few streaks to work with. The fighter pilot, the glide bomb. And if Dashy could stay alive there in that particular situation, he also could have had streaks after the first set of rotations. A 17-point lead for the boys on Season. And looking on, iLLeY trying to grab some hardpoint time as the current rotation is coming into play. Neode making his way in through 10, and this is a nice little kind of setup for him as he's just trying to set up a little bit of a flank, trying a little bit of a pinch, and as long as he can kind of stay alive to his back position, he could be good to go. But a Neode dropping from that particular scenario, I believe they don't have anyone pushed up enough for spawns when it comes down to that next hard point, as it will be preferred spawns currently in control of the side of SZN. As Dashy finds 2, Mochila finds the 3rd. They're respawning toward back barrel building until they can kind of get this, kind of get kills back in their favor. And it looks like Dashy, Mochila doing constant damage, man. And they just cannot get, they really can't break through this. And this is kind of a scary thing to witness, is that, you know, granted they're finding kills, but they're finding kills in quick succession. They're literally lining up for Season right now. And speaking of such, trying to come through that side window. Can they make it through is the question, but no. Mujaydin going big, finds 3. And the 4th player, player number 7, is just trying to stay up for as long as possible. Charullz trying to challenge, and he will sacrifice himself to try and allow his team an open hardpoint, one that they can at least maybe grab a second or 2 on. As it'll be Remedy locking down some points, and Charullz as well, trying to do some work. Granted, he doesn't have a whole lot of teammate control, really any teammate support. And he will drop in the end. So last 20 seconds of scrap points will be going over toward the side of Season. And keeping in mind that rotation that will be coming in toward 10, you see Neode holding that one down, and just overall great positioning there coming in from Mujaydin, just being aware of where he was at. Dashy kind of comes in a little bit late, though, with that streak, but does take out him regardless. Looks like a rotation coming in toward Doc's warehouse. 1v1 battle going down. That's a big win for Charullz. They're going to kind of hold this head glitch, wait for his teammates to join up along with him. It could be big. And Remedy finding one through mid-map. Hops back inside of 10 and can do a little bit more damage. And good overall positioning coming in there from Charullz. Pushing it forward and kind of pinching out the side of season. And so with the rotation coming in, this is some much needed points, honestly, if you're the side of TBO. Of course, already being down, they kind of are starting to get a little bit more momentum. They obviously lost that last Hardpoint. Didn't even really get a push inside of that hill. They do a great job inside the Doc's warehouse, getting every single second nearly. However, push getting ready to be made inside the barrel building as it looks like a bar being brought out here from JTimp. Not one that we're really prone to being witness to. Of course, does have that FG42 in his back pocket and does pick off Mujaydin on those stairs. Granted, it will only be a few seconds where they're not going to have a fourth player in the action, but player number 7 at the back line, Charullz. At the exact same time, we've got 2 glide bombs coming in. Will they meet? I believe Neo drops for one and Dashy drops for the other. And Charullz trying to make a big flank right now. JTimp needs to stay alive as they are going to join forces, and they're trying to actually gain spawns right now. And we'll see if this works out. They're kind of locked in. 1 kill being made. Remedy finding that. iLLeY finds one inside of the hill. Dashy just needs to try and at least find one. Only does hit markers. And there is iLLeY and Mochila for the pickups, as it will be one player trying to challenge last. It will be Charullz. And he falls as well. Not any seconds being awarded despite that flank, despite the glide bomb that comes in. No seconds are awarded for it. As we see Dashy right now, 28 and 19, having a fantastic performance. Of course, player for Enigma 6 ended up having a top 12 placement at TBO Dallas and played incredibly strong. Dashy is definitely one that I'm very much looking forward to throughout the rest of the World War II season to see exactly how high his skill ceiling is. I know a lot of people were definitely surprised by Dashy's overall performance. Of course, not as surprised as Dashy's when it comes down to Kenny from TK, just because we got to witness a little bit of Dashy's play toward the end of IW with Straight Rippin'. But 2 phenomenal players, of course, both who played totally different roles, which would be interesting to see if maybe down the lines in their careers, if they did even form up as a team. And one thing that I know was kind of an awkward scenario for Enigma 6 is the fact of how many AR players that they have. And Dashy, honestly, you can't really take this guy off an assault rifle. We can obviously witness this through games like this, or we can kind of obviously witness it through even regular CDL matches. It's just how talented he is with an AR. And I believe throughout the tournament, even General, who's been known for rocking an AR even since his debut in Advanced Warfare, he actually had to switch to a sub. Like, they were so willing, like, Dashy, just keep running the AR, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I believe him and Decimate are the main ARs for the team. Bevel's more of an objective-style player. That team definitely kind of took quite a bit of a hit when the bar meta kind of became a non-factor. And had to switch up their setup quite a bit. But kind of talking about things, kind of speaking on the fact of season, the boys from TBO are quickly making a little bit of a comeback. They were down quite a few seconds. They gained a lot of time in that last hard point, and now trying to make a little bit of a contention when it comes down the middle. Charullz has to get some control. He tossed out the stun, but here come the streaks as it will pick off iLLeY. Big one coming in there from Neo, and here comes the flank. Big one found from Charullz as well. Finds 2, and now it looks like it is going to be Remedy who finds the headshot there onto Mujaydin, as this comeback could be made. Only 33 seconds down. And we'll see if they can get back into this one. Neo tries to hop on the hill, and really, if you're in Neo's position, you really shouldn't be making your position known, because that kind of spot from cut can easily be found. It's no, JTimp stays alive with the streaks coming forward. JTimp is still alive, but iLLeY comes to the side. iLLeY picks off 2, is trying to hop inside of the hill, trying to grab every single second possible, but can the side of TBO get here in time? They're getting picked off every which way, and they're not going to be able to get here in time, as it will be a game number 1 in the books, 250 to 216. 1 minute times. Looked like a dominant performance from the start of the season. And until the latter parts of the game, we started to see a little bit of momentum coming from TBO. We started to see Remedy have some good performances. Neo, Charullz, all those guys start to have some 3 or 4 streaks, kind of gain some streaks, and they were able to kind of pile their way back. But just overall, the lead that was initialized at the beginning of the game was just too difficult to overcome. And now we focus our attention towards Search and Destroy. And honestly, when you're looking at this team on USS Texas as far as season is considered, you've got iLLeY, you got Dashy. Not really sure as far as Jaden's overall performance can go, but you've got two guys who obviously are very talented with the assault rifles, and Dashy and Mochila. You've got iLLeY, who's incredibly talented with an SMG. I think Dashy can also run the sniper rifle as well. I mean, this is just overall a very solid lineup when it kind of comes down to the overall comp that USS Texas obviously is comfortable to. So when it comes into TBO, I think that was a big loss when it comes down to the Hardpoint, and we'll see what they can do on USS Texas. Of course, like I said, USS Texas can kind of be a swing game, a map that a lot of teams who aren't maybe as talented at search and destroy like to pick, just because of the fact that how kind of random it can be at times. But of course, we'll be able to witness that one. How does it play out? Can we see the side of season when it's 1-2-0? Welcome back, everyone, to, of course, the UMG 500 minimum 44 variants. We're happening here for map number 2 between the likes of Season and TBO and Remedy. Disturbing the peace rocks out the Car 98K off the break and picks off Mochila for the first blood. Bomb try to be made toward this A site, but things are quickly not starting to work out in their favor as bomb has been dropped. And Remedy, still with that sniper rifle, of course, hot off that first blood, is trying to challenge Dashy in the back lines, but Dashy getting close up and personal with the sniper rifle. Somehow does not hit that shot onto Neode. But now here for Jaden, it's a 1 versus 3. Player coming inside of control building is JTimp, and he will mark him off the map as the first blood from Remedy causes a shockwave. As the side, of course, of Season really couldn't rebound after that. Mochila, of course, dropping for that one. Try to make it off to that side. I believe his smoke is also tossed out, and that kind of limits the line sights of Dashy. And I believe that's the reason why we end up seeing that kind of side deck, kind of bottom deck rather, sniper fight happen. And one that could have easily been a second blood as well for Remedy. But it looks like a sniper toward this A site, not going to have a whole lot of information go his way, is Mochila. Rocketed SMG, and that's the reason why he's got 2 stuns to work with, dropping 2 at the same time. Jaden finding 1. As it is an immediate 1 versus 3. Remedy wondering what just happened to my teammates after what was, or what seemed like a successful first round. Bomb has been planted. And Remedy has a lot of work to do, a lot of work to pick up for his teammates, as he will get picked off from behind. And honestly, I'm not sure who exactly tossed that stun. But whoever it was, I believe it might either was Dashy. I want to say, or it couldn't have been Dashy, I guess. Maybe it was iLLeY who tosses that stun, because as soon as those players are stunned, you see Mochila kind of walk out from that cover, immediately hops in and has 2 players who just can't shoot back. And very just solid performance and very solid strategy coming in, as I believe Mochila also pulling out the sniper rifle here. Him and Dashy both running out the Car 98Ks toward opposite sites, as he could easily pick off Remedy here. As Remedy may not be looking at this exact point of view. We'll see actually where Remedy's at. Yeah, Remedy isn't even paying attention to this point of view, so he has no idea. His teammates have no idea that they can actually be watching this point of view, and Mochila taking advantage of it. On the opposite end, exact headshots happening at the similar times as Jaden finds 1, and Mochila found the second. An immediate now 2-on-2, and Charullz is getting this bomb down, and Remedy does have a little bit of an awkward time trying to gain some position. He can't really watch his flank, and that's what Charullz is now going to be there for. As 1 is on the flank right now. Jaden getting picked off, and now it's left up to iLLeY. 1-on-2. His position is known, and smart play from Remedy to not re-challenge. As he tries to go for the quick scope. Turns around, and honestly, smart play there coming in from iLLeY to just kind of immediately check his flank. But either way, it will not work out there for the boys on Season in that round. As TBO will grab the advantage here as Charullz picking him off inside of top control. As it now obviously is 2 rounds to 1. And I'm curious to see what will happen on this offensive round here. It looks like iLLeY has nades. I'm curious to see who has the stuns. It looks like maybe it was Mochila who actually tossed that stun out for himself. We'll actually see the strategy from below. It might have been Mochila who actually tossed that one out. I thought it was a teammate. And he goes for the challenge here on Neode. And he could find him, at least knows where his position is. At the same time, Dashy finds 1, and Mochila's about to find the 3rd. He has a good idea as to where Neode's overall line set could be. Picks him off, and that's the 4th player. Smart strategy coming in there from Mochila. Of course, his teammates were doing their work on the opposite end. But normally when it comes in the bottom ship, we're used to seeing kind of frags being tossed out, those nades just to try to find something. But honestly, tossing out a stun is a fantastic dot. It's a fantastic strat. Just because there's not really a whole lot of movement that you can really make. Those stuns can easily bounce off a wall, and we know how powerful nades are along with stuns as Dashy finds a headshot there onto Remedy. And it looks like iLLeY finding another one up close. Mochila as well. As we talk about how this team is incredibly well-rounded. With the SMGs up close and the ARs at range. This is something we're not used to seeing. Mochila, PPSH, known in the past for his AR work, but when it comes down to playing on this team, so they've got the weapons kind of overall situated for themselves. They've got the weapon comp set up, and Mochila's obviously feeling very confident for the SMG. He's 6-2 right now, double positive, or no, excuse me, triple positive. And if you're the side of TBO right now, you got to be aware of these stuns that could be easily happening or at any point coming through bottom ship. And I like the strat from Mochila. Tosses up the smoke to try to get closer towards some streaks. And isn't expecting Neo in that position. The reason why Mochila isn't immediately expecting someone to come through control is that he's imagining that since, hey, I've come through bottom every single time and they've really kind of been paid for it. So Mochila is imagining that, hey, if they're probably going to be scared to not want to challenge, not want to kind of make that immediate rush. However, though, it's not the case. The side of TBO is not wary whatsoever. They don't see Mochila there, and they immediately go for that push through to top control. That's overall what kind of ruins the round, is the fact that bold strategy from TBO to kind of enter in through, even though they didn't know if Mochila would kind of be lingering through a back line sight to their side on ship. So, smart strats. Neo, of course, does find the kill on the bomb planter, the bomb carrier. And they win that round because of it. So 3 rounds apiece. TBO desperately needing a win here in map number 2, or they'd obviously be eliminated from the tournament. Is now here on offense for these guys. We'll see if a smoke is potentially going to be tossed out. Looks like stuns being exchanged from either side, and it looks like Jaden picking off Neod. You see Jaden actually, as Mochila just continues to dominate, man. Lining up the kill feed is currently 8-3. And JTimp in a 1-on-4, but kind of going back to what I was talking about with Jaden. You see kind of in his overall attachments, as the gunfight will go down and JTimp will win it. Jaden actually rocking grip along with just advanced rifling. Not rocking the quick draw attachment, and that's something that we obviously witnessed Team Caliber actually do at CWL Dallas. Of course, Victor's at that tournament. Of course, a lot of storylines, a lot of interesting results happen at CWL Dallas, but probably the most important one is TK winning the entire darn thing. And a lot of their strategies were kind of based off the attachments that a lot of players rocked. And it was Accuracy and Chino, who both didn't have quick draw on their assault rifles, along their FG42s primarily. But there was a few players who were kind of discussing that. I want to say it was Adido from Era who was discussing and saying that you actually don't need to have quick draw on your FG42, and that was kind of an odd strategy. As Jaden, since everyone's doing work with the sniper rifle, I might as well too. I'm going to swap off the FG42 while I'm already talking about him. But it's just interesting to see kind of the implications, kind of the strats that kind of come out as Remy and JTimp respond for 3. And Jaden's last alive here. But it's interesting to see the weapon comps, kind of the strategies that get developed once the first tournament is over. And I honestly think that we're going to see a lot more teams, a lot more players kind of rock, especially in Hardpoint, rock with no quick draw on their FG42 primarily. But we'll see if Jaden can escape this round. Would be a big one for his team. As it just kind of quick scoping, trying to maybe catch one player challenging. And honestly, if you are this side, you really have no reason to challenge. You have no reason to challenge this right now. Granted, of course, they do win the gunfights, but imagine if they kind of peek out a little bit too long. I mean, if iLLeY just happens to get a good shot on one of them, or excuse me, if Jaden happens to get a nice shot onto one of them, that's streaks that are no longer in your back pocket. That's no longer earn rates that are happening. And that could have been 2 players who fall in that situation. So, not that I'm hating on the side of TBO for challenging. Of course, they want the kills. They want the plus 100 or plus 50 when it comes down to their score streaks, but they've got to be very wary. A sniper rifle, and you've got 2 SMGs challenging them from different points of view. Definitely risky. And here comes the regular strat from Mochila, tossing at the stun. However, he will get picked off. Neod happens to get toward that head glitch, and honestly, thank goodness that he's rocking airborne. Gets to that position, is able to hold strong as a 2 versus 4 off the break for iLLeY and Mujaydin. As iLLeY gets picked up there from JTimp, and this is going to be a 5th round for the boys on TBO. As the bomb goes down here from Charullz, I was going to try to switch to the streak potential for the side of TBO to see if they maybe got toward those glide bombs, those fighter pilots. It's been kind of weird not to say cocktails or Molotovs. Of course, those taken out prior to CWL Dallas, but definitely has changed the overall position for a lot of teams. A lot more teams playing more passively when it comes down to trying to earn streaks and whatnot. But speaking of streaks, no players currently for TBO with those in their back pocket. And Mochila for the side of SZN does not have it either. But smoke is out. Looks like Mujaydin happens to dodge a nade that was coming his way. And just toward his right, there's a player here, but iLLeY and Mochila are picking him off left and right. Neod can't stay alive for much longer than about 3 seconds as we are heading to a round 11. As they don't even need to plant the bomb. And honestly, if you are going to be on the offense here for SZN, I would honestly toss out that smoke and maybe try to bait him out, because it seems that every time they toss a smoke out, it's an immediate rush from TBO. It's like they can't stand to not know the positioning. They immediately go for a rush. So it looks like it will be the, in fact, offensive team being SZN. We'll see what they do in the situation. They're going to toss out the smokes yet again. And I'm actually going to take a look at this one from an above point of view. And they are going to be playing more passively, as it looks like Remedy picking off Mochila for the first blood, and that's the biggest guy that you want to pick off right now just because of how strong and how well he's played in this S&D. Of course, 9-6 is how he will end out. And they might actually have to go for a plan here. And JTimp with a nice line sight. Look at this line sight here. He's actually able to check on that box. He can look over toward that site. So as the bomb gets planted, he's going to go for the dolphin dive just to try and escape. And Mujaydin will. But you see Remedy immediately hopping on that bomb site, man. And that's where Remedy can pick you off. Finds 2. And now iLLeY, the last man alive, tosses out the stun. And what does Remedy do in the situation? He's going to continue to try and stay on this defuse. And he should be good to go. Yes, just like that, the 2 big snipes will come in. And just like that, TBO have won in overtime. They forced them at number 3. And a phenomenal performance there at the end with that sniper rifle. That was an awesome play to watch. As back and forth we went, but in the end, it's TBO who clutch up in round 11. As they win this one, of course, Remedy finishing off 9-5 overall, 1,100 score along with the defuse. Kind of obviously hyping up that score a little bit. And then obviously for the side of SZN, we have Mochila who finishes off 9-6, iLLeY 8-8. And Dashy, 4-7. Definitely something to kind of keep in mind. Of course, normally the sniper player, and of course, rock the sniper throughout most of the rounds that are on USS Texas, those 11. And while he did have a strong performance, definitely had some problems, though, trying to get up on some kills, trying to find those first bloods and whatnot. But definitely something to keep in mind. Remedy, very strong sniper when it comes down to the TBO side. But how will map number 3 play out? That one is going. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, of course, to the UMG $500 4v4, or excuse me, for the $500 minimum 4v4 variant. Of course, here for December 13th. We're hopping here toward map number 3, CTF on Arden Forest, between SZN and TBO. As we're looking on here toward this third map to see how things will obviously start to play out. As an early 4 down, and it looks like smoke's tossed out. We'll see if they can try to grab the flag. iLLeY ends up falling, and now Mujaydin in the back lines with the FG42 ends up falling as well. So what seemed like an early push, one that some early aggression was definitely being shown. I mean, for God's sake, the flag was grabbed within the first 20 seconds of the game. It looks like early kills coming in from the boys on SZN as they want that aggression. They want the kills. They're trying to do some damage. And so with that, Dashy making his way forward. Checking through that side cabin. Just happens to go toward his side, and it looks like it is going to be Remedy who is there for the pickoff. And actually rocking the bar here. Definitely an odd strategy to be rocking this particular assault rifle. One that's not incredibly a normalcy. But Neo ends up falling 4 down yet again. As we'll see if the boys from SZN can advance. As iLLeY, definitely the position that you want to see this guy in, is in these close quarter ranges. He's going to be having the SMG out throughout most of this map. And sitting inside of bunker is where he can do a lot of damage. But here comes the kill coming in from Mujaydin. The push toward the back lines. They end up dropping 3. And can he grab the flag? Yes, iLLeY's able to find it, but taking some fire. And Mochila's there for the cover. So with 4 down for just a moment, they can try to escape. Remedy is not going to be in a position to stop this one. We'll see where the spawns actually come through. But yes, this is going to be a flag in for iLLeY. As the early aggression came through countless times. What is it? Two or three times they got 4 down. And finally it works out for them. So with that in mind, I think it's fair to say when it comes down to favorable sides, at least from the map's point of view and from my point of view, I know it's still being decided whether or not what's the best side. That can kind of be decided overall as the season for Call of Duty does continue. But at least as far as sides are considered, I would definitely rather be on the side that SZN is on right now. Just because of when you look at the overall scheme of how the base, kind of how you can kind of line yourselves up at, it's just so much easier to kind of have such an open, kind of that bridge side. You have so much open kind of area to kind of rain, to kind of hold the backside spawn, to hold the head glitch. And when you're spawning, or when you are obviously in the base where JTimp and Co are right now, instead of back bunker, I mean, granted, you just kind of have a little bit of a line sight, and then as soon as they get around that corner and bunker, you got to choose. Are they going through fire to middle, or are they kind of heading in through forest? And it's incredibly difficult to stop because it continue just kind of pound your base. And with 3 dropping, JTimp, the last alive, he's not even in a position to be in his own base. He's actually going to try to go on the offense. And yes, picks off a big kill there onto Mochila. Tosses at the stuns to try to cover his tracks, but here comes the pinch. Dashy coming from the front side. JTimp only able to stay alive for the short time. As the return should come in here very shortly, and just like that, it will do exactly as iLLeY is currently 13-3, 14-3, almost 15-3. Remedy is there with the bar to do some damage, but still, it is 2 early flags going in for the side of SZN. And granted, if you're in JTimp's point of view, I mean, it's kind of an awkward spot because maybe he's kind of telling his team, like, hey, I'm going to go on the offense, but really, I mean, they've just continually been kind of rushing you. And I think when it comes to the rest of this side, of course, only a minute remaining, but when teams are kind of spawning on this side and they've continually dominated you when it comes into kills, I mean, they've just kind of hammered your base over and over and over again. I think as a unit, you just kind of have to decide, like, hey, we're going to have to do this as a team. Like, we have to literally just keep spawning up. Granted, if we die, we die, but, like, we're just going to have to keep doing things as a team. And you can't really having a 3 versus 4 when you're already being dominated when it comes in overall kills. So, regardless, it is 2 flags to 0, and the streaks are coming in. They want to try to get a 3rd. Hop against a bunker. And is trying to take some cover right now, but they can't stay alive. Mujaydin finds 2, and also the 3rd and 4th found. And here comes the grab from iLLeY. Where are the players spawning at? They are all in back bunker. They're not going to be able to stop this one unless they have streaks, and Lord knows they don't. iLLeY going to be able to put this one in 16-5, along with 2 captures. Getting closer to doubling up on streaks is this man. Challenging from the side, he'll get picked off, but to no avail. It will be 3-0 at the first half, and at least if you're on the side of TB or on the side of TBO, you have some positives heading into this next 5 minutes, because you're obviously going to be now spawning on the more preferred side, at least as far as overall defense is considered. Granted, with the score advantage that the side of SZN has right now, it may not really play too much into the overall scheme of how the match does close out, but at least you have a little bit more of an easier time to have a kind of a parking the bus situation. So with that in mind, as the nades will come in early, as Mochila just destroys them. He's 14-6 right now, by the way. I've been calling out iLLeY saying how fantastic he's been performing as he finds the 4th. But kind of keeping in mind, as the streaks will come in, at least you can kind of get a little bit of an idea for the moment that TBO, while streaks are, like I said, starting to come in, it's at least going to be easier for them to hold when it comes into defense. And that's the one positive to be taking into these last 5 minutes. And it looks like challenging from the side. Jaden actually ends up picking off his teammate, so Neo very happy that's the case. And trying to win this fight on to one. And iLLeY, the flag in the back lines. He actually backed up to the enemy base, and he'll get dropped forward. So on the opposite end, it looks like it is going to be the boys from TBO who make the overextension, grab the flag, and Remedy is just very wary of the fact that Mochila could be at any one of these point of views. Tossing at the nade yet again in this Moch. Stuns being tossed back and forth. iLLeY picks off one and goes for the challenge, but he challenges a player who is just toward that side cabin. They need to kind of try to keep the flag alive, and can Mochila get on it just in the nick of time? He does, and nearly gets the turn on to Neode. A big flag grabbed. If you are the side of seizing that particular situation, but honestly, when you're having the flag, you really can't be that wary. You kind of have to rely on your teammates to watch those cuts. As they waited so long to try to get that one through cabin, players were literally spawning up that they'd already killed. Once you have that flag in a particular situation, you just kind of grab it and just run with it. Maybe you have a smoke in your back pocket. Maybe you just have a teammate throw a nade. But you just waited way too long. And they paid for it, as they're going to need to get a flag out here very shortly. Of course, being down 0-3, or being down 3-0 rather, in less than 3 minutes remaining in the second half, you got to get something going. I see them all in the back of their base right now. Kind of either through middle bridge, through backside cabin, through ruins. And Charullz is trying to hold the line side here, just to try to weather the storm. Should pick up one on iLLeY, and you can't afford to lose gunfights like that. You really can't afford to lose gunfights like that, because if at least he finds one, it makes the push a little bit less, and granted they get lucky and are able to kind of close at the base as the nade comes through, but you really can't afford to lose crucial 1v1s in that particular scenario, especially when it comes down to them being in your base, being down, and obviously having that 7.5 respawn delay, because it's almost like eliminating someone for an entire team fight. And JTimp tries to do some work, grabs the flag for a second, but only just kind of feeds overall score there for Jaden, as he's not that far off of a fighter pilot at the very least. But realistically, while you can't kind of park the bus in Season's way, it can kind of be awkward, right? Because if you drop 3 players, if you die spawning and being in bunker, they can just overall overwhelm your base. And that's what they're going to try to do here, as Neode takes down one, drops his teammate, and Jaden just happens to destroy the entire setup they had been working on for the last 20 to 30 seconds and moments. It's ended. But like I was saying, you can kind of park the bus. If you're in the lead, you can kind of hang back a little bit when you're spawning on bunker side. But for the most part, you can't really kind of clump up a little bit. You kind of have to separate a little bit, because if you drop in your base, it's almost an immediate flag out and one that you could easily get home. So we'll see if the boys from Season can score this flag. Making his way through ruins right now is iLLeY. He's 21-13. Mochila 21-12. And could get this flag in. And yes, this one should be good to go. They're just now getting through cabin. And this one is going to be good to go here for iLLeY. 4-0. As this map is most likely done for. Constellation kills is really all these are at this point. And if you're the side of TBO, like I said, this is Team Blackout. Previously Team Blackout, like I said, who did compete at CDL Dallas. Maybe it's a point in this tournament where you realize the issues that you had happened. Maybe you go back and watch some film. Realizes some of the errors that happened in this particular CTF. And you try to learn from them. Of course, everyone is still learning CTF, especially in Arden Forest. It's so much different, right? Because as far as the overall composition is concerned, I'm just honestly going to put the controller down at this point. When it comes into CTF right now, in World War II, it's 2 fast maps and one that's not really slow, but one that just totally plays completely different. And a lot of teams like to play the one that's totally different. So you kind of just have to practice Arden Forest over and over and over again. And just try to work on your overall play, because this is the one that you're going to be seeing quite a bit until maps are changed or until something else happens. Until maybe another map is added to the rotation and whatnot. But you see here in the final kill cam, Mochila doing some work with the FG42 as he finishes off 24-14. iLLeY finishing off 23-14. Overall solid performances coming in from those guys, but they really took advantage when they were spawning on back bridge side. and just kind of hammering the boys on TBO when they were spawning back bunker. I mean, just continually being in their face, making them go 3 and 4 down. I believe even at the the first 5 minutes of the game, or the first 5 seconds of the game starting, I mean, they were immediately 4 down off the break, and you just really can't afford to have that happen. At the start of the second side, Mochila tosses out a nade and kills 2 off the break. So overall, it was TBO who were trying to gain momentum over time, but they were just continually dominated and really didn't have a whole lot of time to breathe. So with that in mind, of course, it will be the quarterfinals kind of being decided. The SZN wins this one in a 2-1 fashion, knocking out TBO.
Pretending nothing's wrong.